Vini Jr, tearing down the left flank, a blur of yellow and green. The defender drops back, terrified to commit, knowing that a single false step means it is already over. A quick drop of the shoulder, a devastating burst of acceleration, and the ball is suddenly in the back of the net. Sure, this Brazilian side might not look like the untouchable, magical squads of the past, nor do they carry the carefree swagger of the legendary 2002 champions, but underestimate them at your own peril. This team is completely different, and it is largely because their main man has transformed. If you look at the image we put together for this analysis, specifically the Vini Jr. JPG file, the word plastered right next to his face says it all. Scary. He has evolved from a raw, unpredictable talent into a terrifyingly ruthless machine. This is not the same player who arrived in Europe as a teenager burdened by impossible expectations. This is a cold, calculating leader who has won everything at the club level and is now fully prepared to carry the immense weight of his nation on his shoulders. For years, critics laughed at his final product. They made compilation videos of his missed shots and questioned his decision-making. But slowly, methodically, he completely rewrote his own narrative. By dominating the Champions League with Real Madrid and delivering in the most high-pressure moments imaginable, he captured the respect of the entire footballing world. For Brazil, a nation that demands nothing less than absolute perfection, his rise could not have come at a more critical time. It feels like destiny that he has assumed the role of the undisputed talisman just as the team needed a new hero. But to call this current Brazilian squad a one-man team would be incredibly disrespectful to the sheer amount of talent assembled around him. While Vini is the undeniable spearhead, the supporting cast has quietly grown into a formidable force of its own. Rodrigo has established himself as the ultimate clutch performer, a player who thrives in the shadows and punishes defenses the moment they overcommit to stopping the left flank. Endrick, the teenage sensation, has arrived on the global stage with a raw, explosive power that brings a completely different dynamic to the attack. In the midfield, Bruno Guimaraes and Lucas Paqueta provide the perfect blend of relentless aggression and creative flair. Even at the back, the veteran presence of Marquinhos and Gabriel Magalhães offers a solid foundation, while Alisson remains an absolute wall between the posts. Players who previously hid behind the shadows of older veterans have stepped up, taking ownership of the shirt and the expectations that come with it. After a period of chaos and inconsistency, something within the squad fundamentally shifted. The standards were sharpened, the tactical discipline hardened, and the collective spirit of the group was forged through adversity. They realized that playing beautiful football is no longer enough. They have to be warriors, and no team understands the unforgiving nature of tournament football quite like them. Having watched their arch-rivals claim global dominance in recent years, Brazil has firmly decided that it is time to reclaim their throne and reassert themselves as the ultimate footballing powerhouse. By the way, if you are enjoying the video so far, we would be incredibly grateful if you subscribed. Your support helps us grow and continue creating the football content you love. On paper, Brazil's journey to this point has been anything but smooth, and their qualifying campaign was a massive roller coaster of emotions. There were moments of pure brilliance, but there were also stretches where they looked completely unrecognizable. They suffered historic and heartbreaking defeats, including a painful home loss to Argentina and shocking stumbles against Uruguay and Colombia. It was arguably one of their most turbulent qualifying runs in modern history. The media was ruthless, the fans were demanding answers, and the pressure on the manager was suffocating. But context matters deeply here. The team was going through a massive transitional phase. Neymar, the undisputed face of the national team for over a decade, was dealing with severe, long-term injury issues that forced him out of the picture. The system had to be completely rebuilt on the fly. There were obvious warning signs during this period, particularly a worrying lack of defensive stability and an over-reliance on individual brilliance rather than cohesive team play. Yet, going through that exact crucible is what forced this team to mature. They had to learn how to grind out ugly wins. They had to figure out how to survive in hostile South American environments without their traditional savior. And it was during this grueling process that Vini Jr. truly stepped out of the shadows and said, "Give me the ball, I will fix this." Their recent warm-up friendlies and preparation matches have painted a very interesting picture. Unlike previous eras where Brazil would go out and try to score 5 goals just to entertain the crowd, this current iteration is much more pragmatic. They recently played a series of matches against European opposition, grinding out narrow, intensely tactical victories. They secured a hard-fought win against England at Wembley and showed incredible resilience against Spain. But even then, there is a lingering feeling among pundits that Brazil has not truly hit top gear yet. They look like a team holding something back, playing with a controlled intensity rather than wild abandon. Of course, playing friendly matches rarely brings out the true, fierce nature of South American football. For the opponents, just sharing the pitch with these iconic yellow shirts is a massive occasion, leading to tight, conservative games. The Brazilian players themselves have acknowledged this. They know that friendlies do not define a legacy, only the World Cup does. The squad has adopted a bunker mentality, ignoring the outside noise and focusing entirely on peaking at the exact right moment. They are comfortable letting doubts linger in the media and letting opponents second-guess their true level, because they know that when the stakes are highest, when the lights are brightest, they have the firepower to destroy any defensive block in the world. The familiarity within this Brazilian squad has created a brotherhood built on shared pressures and a deep understanding of what is expected of them. However, it is the balance of this squad that sparks the greatest debates and concerns heading into the tournament. There is a clear divide between the incredibly youthful, electric attack and the aging, battle-worn defense. At the back, the foundation relies heavily on players who are entering the twilight of their careers. Danilo, while experienced and tactically intelligent, does not possess the explosive pace he once had, making him vulnerable against rapid wingers. Marquinhos has countless miles on the clock, and while his reading of the game is flawless, the lack of recovery speed in the defensive line is a genuine concern.